Okay. Hi, ladies. We're live.
Ooh,
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Please
hi.
give us a few seconds. Let's share our live feed on our status and on our page. We'll be right back.
Okay, let me refresh.
Yeah, refresh. You get it. Okay. And all right. So I'll send the link so you can share that on as many platforms as you can. So what we continue. You got the link?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Thank
Just a
you.
minute. Just a minute. Let me share on WhatsApp.
Okay. We good?
I'm kind of having a little difficulty to share on WhatsApp on my status. Um, just give me one more minute. Let me try again.
Okay.
If it doesn't go through, then that's fine. We're just gonna proceed. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Okay.
Oh, it's already in our Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, now we have to share on our status
Okay.
on WhatsApp. Okay. Sorry about that.
I know. Things happen.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm
Are we?
ready.
Miss Harriet, are you good?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining once again. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Miss Molly and Miss Henrietta, and you are all watching the Molly
You
Show.
show.
Ooh. And today we have a very interesting topics. I know our viewers out there, they can't wait to hear us
Mhm.
roll. And for that reason, we decided to bring somebody amazing, somebody who had had the experience for a long distance relationship for over 10 years.
Ooh.
Her name is Miss Mrs. Ruth Berry. We're gonna bring her in and she's gonna come.
Hi, ladies. Hi,
Hi
Hi.
Hi,
there.
Yeah,
Miss Ruth. We are so happy to have you here. We really appreciate the fact that you created time to hang out with us today. It's really very important to us. We appreciate you for coming. Today, we're
Thank
going to
you.
be talking about relationship, a long distance relationship. We're even going to go deeper to talk a little bit more about how we're going to cope in a long distance relationship with sex. From my understanding, I know that relationships are hard and long distance relationships are even harder. And most of the time, we don't even have the time to like think because it's always a situation that you don't know is going to happen. At times, because of work, better opportunity, things happen, and then you guys separated, right? So I feel like long distance relationship are so challenging. What do you think, Miss Henrietta?
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Molly. And Miss Bernie, thank you so much for being here. The word long just simply means the relationship is a strain. So you can't meet your partner, you can't see him or her. So it's gonna be strenuous, it's gonna be difficult. But how do you cope about it? So I believe a long distance relationship sometimes fix situations or spoil situations. So I'm so happy you're here to talk to us about yours, and I know it's going to help a lot of people that are going through that. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Olivia, do you have anything to say about like long distance relationship before Miss
Yeah,
Wood start rolling?
trust me, I don't think I would love to do that again. I tried it for a little bit, and it was one of the most difficult times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strenuous. We have energy from friends, family. You know, you are
Yeah.
still hanging out there. People still look like, hey, maybe she's single because you're always showing up alone and stuff like that. So it's a lot, and yeah, I always think it's always better to try to meet at one point. Like, come on, you guys have to be together, because I know it's something that it's very difficult. Trust me. So, but
Right.
I'm happy to have a guest today who is going to talk to us more about it. I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear your experience.
Miss Ruth, we are so happy again, like I said, with your experience. I have had a long distance relationship for 2 years. I know Miss Olivia have had experience, Miss Henrietta, but yours 10 years,
Yep.
10 years long relationship. So my first question for you, right? What
Yeah.
is the best way to maintain a long distance relationship?
Wow, wow, wow. The Molly Show, Molly, Olivia, Henrietta, thank you so much for this opportunity. I do not take it lightly, right?
You're
And
welcome.
I really love the chance to share. I hope that somebody out there, some of our
Yeah.
viewers are able to draw some inspiration from this because, like you all ladies rightly said, it is not easy.
No.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
everybody who is in a relationship ultimately want to be physically together with that person, right? There are certain
Right.
ways that you can strengthen the bond only when you're physically together. So to go back to the question, Miss Molly, where you said, how do you maintain, was that the question? How do you
Yes, ma'am.
maintain a long distance relationship? I want to say that there are a few things that work for us, right? Again, I'm going to speak from my perspective, from my
Exactly.
experience. It may work for you, it may not, but I want to encourage everybody who's watching us, do what works for you. You may try one thing, it may not work for you. You may try something else. So I will share from my perspective. There were a few things that helped us. Number one was communicating with each other, talking to each other, making each other understand what phase am I going through right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Does
Mm-hmm.
it align with where we still want to go together as a couple? What are you facing? How can we overcome some of these challenges to ensure that we are still together as one person, even though physically we may be in different
Yeah.
locations, right? So you
Right.
have got to communicate with each other, right? And I think that the social media era has made that a little easier for us,
Mm-hmm.
right? I remember back in 2008 when I first came to the States, it may not have been like now where you have Zoom, you have
Mm.
WhatsApp videos, you have
Yeah.
every application out there that you can take advantage of. Back then, it could have been just written letters, and Lord knows how long that letter is going to take before it gets over there, Or
Mm-hmm.
just you couldn't just call from your mobile carrier because that could
Mm-hmm.
be very expensive. I couldn't afford it back then. So sometimes it was the calling cards. And if it's at
Mm-hmm.
night
Oh.
and you
Mm-hmm.
call and the closest gas station is not open, you cannot get the calling card. It was a little challenging, right? But we made it work. Every time we got the opportunity to talk to each other, we did that. You have to make sure you consistently help the other partner understand we are still on the same page, right?
Right.
No matter what we're going through, we're still on the same page. So that's one thing, communication. Number two, ladies, trust. You
Mm-hmm.
have got to build a foundation of trust so strong because the challenges will come.
Mm-hmm.
You have not built that foundation. Whatever it means for your couple, building a foundation, you have got to go the extra mile to make sure that foundation is strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
In case it could mean, hey, I need to consistently reassure my partner that, even though you're not physically around me, you're still the woman in my life, or you're still the
Exactly.
man in my
Right.
life, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
something my husband now did very well back then. Because I must confess, when we first separated, we were not husband and wife yet, right? We were still boyfriend and girlfriend. So that added an even more difficult layer with
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
oh, you know, I be married the person. I'm sorry, I spoke in pigeon, right? You're not
Oh,
even.
You
that's okay.
No,
No
no, no,
You
no.
problem.
know what I mean? I'm gonna flow, y'all.
you
Okay.
Yeah.
good.
I may hit you with the dialect. Just ride with me. But
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
it could it could mean, hey, you know let me reassure my partner, you may not be physically present, but you're still the man or the woman in my life. And that's one thing that my now husband, who was my then boyfriend, did so well. Whether or not I was there, especially when I was physically present, in every single area of his life, whether it was work, whether it was with his friends when they did pleasure, whatever, he reaffirmed she is the woman in my life. And that kept me more at peace, right? Because
Right.
there are relationships where you hear, I feel like he only answers the phone at certain times of the day. When I call at other times, he may not answer. I feel like when he's hanging out with this group of people, he doesn't want to identify with me. And sometimes that could be red flags, but my spouse ensured that in every area of his life, he continuously reassured me, you're still the woman there. So trust, trust, trust is another thing, right? That worked for us. And then another thing I'd like to share is just whenever you can be together physically in the same place, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is ultimately what worked because how long can you stay physically apart, right? Before it's like, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we took advantage of the times we could travel, of the times we could be physically together. It wasn't easy. And then just keep everyone else out and just be in with your partner. So these are some things we did that helped us maintain, that ensured that, hey, we may not be physically together, but we're still making it work, And I hope that,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Thank you so much for that. That really makes sense because at times when you feel like you are not in the person's heart, it's so
Yeah.
discouraging and tiring, and you
Mhm.
feel like you just want to give up. I understand what you're saying. Wow. Thank you. Miss Henrietta, do you have a question for?
Oh yes. Thank you so much, Miss Molly. And I know I'm sorry. I would like to go back to like the situation. There's one thing I just picked out of it. Apart from communication, apart from trust, you talked of physical, which is what? Keep people out. Keep
yes.
Mm-hmm.
people out. That is so important. That's what I got from there is like walk the progress. Keep
Yes.
people out. So thank you, Miss Ruth, for that. And the only question I have for you right now is do you think long distance relationships are healthy?
Ha,
How would
that's
you
a
measure it?
tricky one, Miss Henrietta. That is a tricky one, right? Ultimately, no. Ultimately, no. But I don't think it's a black and white answer. I think, again, do what works for you because, yes, there were times when okay, it's refreshing for this person to be out of my space because I need my time, right? But
Right.
ultimately, as a couple, you want to be together. So, would I do this again? No, I wouldn't. But make it work while you are in that situation because like Miss Molly said,
Miss Ruth, you're breaking up. I think her internet
Yeah,
is
she
It's
not the
okay.
best right now. Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
just
wa- yeah, while we are waiting for Miss Ruth to come in back, we could just be okay. My own, I will give a little bit while we are waiting for Miss Ruth to come back. I'll give a little experience, my own personal experience, and you guys are open as well to say something about your experience.
of
I
course.
remember back in my days when I was in a long distance relationship, that was 2008, 2010. It was so challenging because um, most of the time I wanted him present. There are times that I feel like, oh, if my man was here, I wouldn't have been this lonely. At times you are just so lonely. You have your friends there, you have your family there, but you still feel that space inside. You want him, that space that is meant only for him. You wanted him. And some people they have, like I would say, some people they have long distance relationship with no sex. Some people, that I just believe, like it depends on you, how you started your relationship, because for some reason, for religious purposes, some people they don't want sex. For culture, every culture is different, but I was my own person. I wanted everything,
Mm,
so it was
the
challenging for
juicy
me.
one,
It
girl.
was it was challenging for me, but we like Miss Wood was saying, we were communicating. My husband was calling me like all the time. It was call, 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 call. Until it got to a point when he's calling, my phone would just ring, and my friends would say, "Oh, he's calling again," right? He will call all the time, and that kept us going, And then for that 2 years, every summer he will come home, go back home to Cameroon and visit me. And every Christmas he will be there so we can do our thing, so that I'm not really sexually starved, both of us. But even the time that we're not together, we did things that helped us. My relationship, I would do sexting, say dirty text, naughty text, things like, oh, I'll text him like, if you were here, I would have loved if you could just take my bra off for me. Things like that to spice the relationship and keep him on his toes and make him go crazy up here. And then he feels like, let me just book a flight and go to Cameroon. We kept doing things like that, nude pictures, you know, go there, stay on live on a back in our days it was Skype, like Miss Ruth was saying. Nowadays there's a lot of opportunity that people can have a long distance relationship and don't really feel that much of loneliness like I felt back in the days 2008. We meet on Skype, like, oh, sure. Oh, I want to see you. I'm like, okay, I take off my bra. You see it. It's keeping the relationship. I send you pictures of sending pictures of my boobs, sending pictures of my pussy, and then it kept the relationship going, it kept it going. And for that reason, we didn't feel that much of loneliness because we were doing those things to help us. And like Miss Wood was saying, long distance relationship again is not for everyone. It can work for me, but it cannot work for somebody. I always say, I always say, ask myself this question: is this relationship, is it worth it? Is it worth the sexual frustration? Is it worth the fear and all of that? Is it worth it? If it's worth it, then go for it. If you think you are not the person that can do it, okay. And then another thing I want to say, it's more complicated. It's more complicated if one person want to be in a long distance relationship and want to be having sex, and the other person is not willing to give the sex. Oh, I know one do and me. And the guy is saying that no, we have to do it. We have to make it work. So it's just complicated based on your situation and how you have to handle it. Miss Olivia, what do you want to say about it?
Okay. Yeah, I was, if you notice, I was on my phone because I was trying to communicate with Miss Roach. She's back
Oh, okay,
on the
okay,
stream. Yeah. And all right, Miss Roach. But before we go on with Miss Roach, I just want to thank our viewers we have out there.
okay.
Special shout out to Mr. Ben, all the way from Doha, Qatar. Ben, thanks for joining. We also have Miss Miranda Sama. Miranda, thank you for joining us today. We do appreciate you all. Miss Roach, over to you.
Thank you so much, ladies. And I'm sorry about the
Oh no,
technical issues,
we have
but
it all the time.
yeah, the computers, right? When they work well, and when they choose not to work, okay.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah,
So I think we were on the question of
Healthy relationship.
if
it
it's
wasn't
healthy.
healthy or not, long distance, right? So, and like I was saying, I don't think it's a black and white, but if you asked me to do 10 years apart again from my spouse, no, I wouldn't. But while you cannot help it, right, make it work, because like Miss Molly was saying earlier, there are times when for the sake of better opportunity you have got to separate, right? um
Mm-hmm.
for sometimes work, the children, whatever the case may be. So to answer the question, I don't think they're healthy. If you have a choice and you can avoid it, please do. But if you don't have a choice, make it work. That's what I would say.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. Thank you for that.
thank you.
yeah.
Yes, ladies.
All
All
right,
right.
thank you.
I think all right, let me just have chip in the next question. But again,
Mm-hmm.
I just pick what you said, like you won't do that again. And if there's a chance, if you can bridge that gap, I'll tell anyone any day, anytime, if you can bridge that gap. We know people are apart because of many reasons, private reasons, personal reasons that
Mm-hmm.
we might not understand. But if there's a chance, if you can bridge that gap, please bridge the gap and be with your partner. So
Mm-hmm.
um how did you make your man feel special during that time that you had a long distance relationship?
Aha, I like
Ooh,
that
the tea,
question.
the
All
tea.
Mm.
right. How did
Mm,
I make my man feel special? I read this book called The Five Love Languages, and I
mm-mm.
think Yes, and I don't know, ladies, if you've had a chance. Gosh, I'm thinking about the author, but it's not coming to me right away. But after reading that book, and my little sister had shared that book back in the day with me, it really changed the dynamic of how I love my husband, how he loves me, how we love our children. Because now there's a version of that book for the children, right?
Okay.
I came to understand that not everybody's love language is the same, ladies.
Yeah,
Sometimes I may buy Ruth a very beautiful car, and maybe gifting is not her love language. It will not make no sense to Ruth.
that's true.
Well, while the world will be applauding Ruth's spouse, saying, "Oh my God, she lives in a mansion. Oh my God, look at the car she's driving. Oh my God."
Mm.
If that is not Ruth's love language, you really miss the point, right?
Hmm.
So that was one thing that I did, was continuously research to answer the question, Miss Olivia, of how did you make your man feel special. I continually researched couples that have been married very long. What are they doing to keep it fresh? How are they doing it to ensure that, they want to make it keep going? Because as you know, after a few years, or after, a couple of years, sometimes you're just like, get out of my space right now, and I don't want to see your face, right?
Yeah.
But how is it that you make it so exciting that the other person wakes up the next day feeling like, okay, I want to keep fighting, even though it may be difficult, whatever. So research was one thing I did. Is how does it work? How couples that have done it forever, following
Mhm.
some people that are experts in the area. That's one thing I did. But after reading that book, especially, I took time to really understand what his love language was. So in conversations, I would pick at the five different love languages and see the one that brought the light out in his eyes.
Hmm.
That was the thing
Mhm.
that I used. My husband is not needy. He's not, I've met different people who would say, "Oh my God, I feel like it's exhausting loving this person." No, he's not. He doesn't ask for much, but all he wants is, I want to feel respected. And I would love to have a nice home cooked meal. That's all he wants, right? So I thought, oh, okay. If this is, since this is somebody that I feel like a good meal will be something that he would definitely appreciate. And then
Hmm.
the next thing was, what is respect for you, honey? Right?
Yeah.
Because my definition of respect may not be your definition of respect.
Right.
And once I understood what his definition of respect was, let me tell you, I did not stop at every opportunity to show him, you are respected as a man. You are respected for me as your wife. You are, So one of the strategies that really helped, and I was blessed because at the time,
Amen.
my sister-in-law moved into the
Mhm.
home with my husband, which is his big sister. She moved in with him while I was, in the States, and he was back home in Cameroon. And one thing that I ensured, I will call her at least 2 times a week, 3 times a week, to ensure, hey, please, what are you cooking for him today? Please, what is it today that he can eat? Please, please ensure that today or in this week in his diet, you have this or you have that. Indirectly, that was the way I ensured that the things he loved to eat, the things he loved to have the table, were done for him. And of course I had a helper in that particular area, but that was one way that I made him feel special. I know he likes to eat this, I know he likes to eat that. Twice a week, please, let's make sure we have it in his diet. And then whatever his definition of respect was, whenever I had a chance, I channeled
Yeah.
that to him. So that's one way that I know for sure that he felt special. Now the other way around, how did he make me feel special? I love gifts. I'm a very
Yeah.
gifted person, and please, I saw the look on your face, Miss Henrietta. But okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Okay, I
Mhm.
love gifts, and I
Mhm.
love recognition. Like
Oh yeah.
acknowledgement is the word. Acknowledgement, right?
Yeah.
I'm the person who feels very warm and fuzzy when you acknowledge that maybe something that I did to you was good or something like that. So whenever he had a chance, whenever somebody was coming to the States, whenever he could sneak in a little gift for me, he did it. And that's one way that we kept it fresh, to answer the question.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Thanks so much for that. For that. Can you please just give me again the title of the book? I think our audience asked. Let me
Five
just drop it
love
there.
languages. I,
Yes.
I wrote it down, girl. I
The
got it
five
Okay.
love
down.
languages. And I'm sorry,
Mhm.
guys, I'm in the car. If I was in
No, it's
my home
okay.
office
Okay.
with the computer, I would have looked up the author really quickly. So if one of you ladies are able to look it up for me, and if you tell me the author, I would say yes. But the
Five
title,
love languages. Okay. All
five love.
right.
Mhm.
So, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Ruth.
Miss Luke. Looks like she's offline. Oh, she's back.
Oh, she's
I'm
back.
sorry, a call was coming in, but I cut it. That call can wait, okay?
Okay, okay. Miss Ruth, thank you so much. And I have another question for you.
All
So my
right.
question for you is, how did you cope with the frustration of not having sex in a long distance relationship? How did you cope
Wow.
with it? Because that part is so important and I don't want to miss out of it. I'm all ears.
Absolutely. Okay. Now we're gonna go a little spicy here now, okay? But
Mm-hmm.
for sure, for sure, one thing. I'm so sorry, and calls keep coming in and they're interrupting the broadcast. But
We
bear with me. I'll
understand.
just keep declining them. So for sure, intimacy is a big part of, especially a romantic relationship, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
like, oh my God. So I can tell you guys that I think that was one of the biggest challenges being in a long distance, because with intimacy, you want the person physically present, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, a few different things that helped. Number one, and I think I already mentioned this in the past, we did not stop at the opportunity to travel to each other when we could. Okay.
Okay.
In the first 5 years of our relationship, because I think I came in 2008 and it wasn't until 2018 that my husband finally joined me. So, in the first 5 years of our 10 years apart, I did most of the traveling back home. I would go at least once a year. There were years when I would go twice a year. And there
That's
was a
good.
year where we were
Wow.
extra blessed and I could make a third trip, right?
Mm.
So wherever I worked, the strategy was to accumulate the vacation time to where I take it in a block and then go,
Then
right?
go.
Right.
And then in the second 5 years of our relationship, now he took turns coming, traveling to me, right? So
Mhm.
that's one way we made the intimacy grow, because I tell you what, you want to keep the intimacy coming,
Yeah,
okay?
keep the sex
Oh,
coming.
Charles girl.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
I tell you what, so being physically together when you can, because
Mhm.
during those times, you know it's a mental game. It's like this is the only time we have to spend together. So keep it clean, and to keep the babies, to not light the baby's ears on fire. Whenever we were physically together in the same place, we make the most of the time that we had together. And I'm sure for the adults, you understand what I mean, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
We made the most of it. The second thing is the world is going virtual, right, ladies?
It is,
Yeah.
baby.
The
Yeah.
going virtual. So have a little bit of a naughty date with your partner, right?
Mhm.
Down to Victoria's Secret, find you a nice lingerie, honey, and call him up. And when I say call him up, do not call him up on audio. Turn on the video and let the call go where it may. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Again, I'm trying to keep it PG here. So
Okay.
that's
All right. Yeah,
definitely.
viewers, please just bear with. Okay, she's back.
And I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry. This calls keep
No,
interrupting.
please
So
go ahead.
those are some things.
Please,
So
viewers, just
those.
bear with her. She's in the car and it's
I'm
not the best
sorry.
situation right now, but she's making it work.
It
Yes, I'm
she
making the best
is.
of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I am making the best of it. Sorry about that. Okay. So those are some things that helped us. Again, to recap, traveling to each other when we could, just visiting virtually with each other.
Yeah.
Take a video call when you can and let it go where it may. But also in sharing with other couples that have had this long distance thing. I know that there are some couples who would take it a step further. And again, this is if it works for you, right? We were
Mm-hmm.
not a couple who were in an open relationship. So stepping out of the relationship intimately with another person was not something that we wanted to do.
Oh
I know
yes.
that
Oh yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I know in talking with other couples, there are couples who they love or accept the openness when they're apart. So
That's
that's
true.
one way that they kept it spicy for them, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is
And
what
like
um
Miss Ruth was saying about like buying a lingerie and things like that and make it spicy. That's what I do. But again, I always say this some not everybody's like us here. There are some women that in a situation like this, they are new to it. So I always advise you first start with those naughty texts and get him right up to that area where he's accepting it. And then from there, you can start doing like a video call, start saying naughty things. And then from there, you can go to the videos. Because me, I can just go from nothing to the videos. I don't care. That's who I am. But some women, it's too much for them. They're like, oh, they're too shy about it. Again, another situation, like I was having when we're talking about this topic, I had a conversation with a friend, and I was like, you have to do things like that. She's like, okay, what if my man no one time I go do her? No, not all man one time. I say, man picking be moved by sight, whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Man
Amen to
picking be moved
that.
by sight. Forget
Mhm.
about he saying that I don't like it. He doesn't hate it, but he doesn't know you like that person. So bring that Felicia out of you, okay?
Wow.
Bring that
Mm.
Wow.
Natisha, bring all of that, that crazy woman, bring
Mm.
it out there, and then he will accept it. And then if you use that approach is not working, sit him
Next.
down, have that
Mm-hmm.
conversation with him. Tell him about your fears, tell him about your sexual frustration, tell him about your doubts, tell him about your feelings so that he can see it from your point of view. So that's just what I want to chip in from what Miss Ruth was explaining.
Th- Thank you, Miss Molly. And I agreed 100% because if you're not talking to each other, the very essence of being a romantic relationship, or one of the things that is going to keep it together for you, is the intimacy you have, the sex, right? If
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it's not working in one way, talk to each other. Talk to each other.
That's true.
Talk to each other while you're having sex. Talk to each other out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
Talk to each other. Make each other understand this is what works for me. Oh, I really liked when you did this, and I wish we could try this because
Yeah.
it's a relationship that you're gonna be in, God willing, for the rest of your life, right?
Yes.
You might as well enjoy it while you're in it,
While
right?
you're in it.
But I was sharing about other couples that I've had conversations with. Some people do the whole open relationship thing. That was not an option for us, right? But if that
Mm-hmm.
works for you, and if that works and floats your boat, definitely you can do that. If you're a couple that's comfortable with toys in the bedroom, right? If you're a
Ooh,
couple that's comfortable with
ooh,
porn
ooh.
in the bedroom, I know some couples that have shared those kind of video experiences with each other to
Yeah.
keep it spicy. So whatever floats your boat, work with the other person in your couple, and while you're physically apart, these are some things that you can do.
Oh
Hmm.
wow. Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. And oh my God, yeah, you just talked of toys and a lot of things, girl. Miss
Oh, I
Molly,
was
thank
like
you, girlfriend,
toys.
for that girl. That was
Mm-hmm.
spicy. I
Mm-hmm.
know. What I just got up from one thing is Miss Ruth is respect. You talked of respect. I know the men love the respect, but I like the way you put it. It's two way.
Yes.
You gotta get respect when you give it back.
Right.
Respect is, you don't just get it. And African men, they love that, and we're proud to do that. But I'm so proud of them too because sometimes they come to realize that the respect we give them, we need it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So thank you,
Absolutely.
Mama. Thank you so much, girl, for talking about that. And your 5 year going back to Cameroon and him 5 year coming, that is amazing. That is that is amazing, Mama. So the other question that I have for you is, hey, hey, God,
At
oh,
this one, so it's about to hit
so
me now.
Tite pass you. That's what you talk about. God, oh, did you have any person or any man call you during this time? That means charge you, want you. Eh,
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
that's what
okay.
we do.
I
Any
know.
man day,
Any man that
tell
throw
us.
glances at you like this.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, ladies. I got more than just the glances. Okay, I am wearing my wedding ring today. I'm sure you can see it. I
Oh, it
always
is
wore my wedding.
huge.
I
Mm,
always, well, thank you, honey. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
well,
Okay.
mm,
And I always wore it. But the thing is, there are people who did not respect that you were wearing that ring because, like Miss Olivia was saying earlier, they don't see you with that partner,
Mm.
right? So they think it's okay to walk up to you and to try and chat you, right? Let's use that
Mm-hmm.
word. But yes, and I had somebody that was persistent. I mean, persistent.
I'm
But
like,
again,
come on, bro.
the cookie jar was closed, honey. It was closed.
I love
There
them
was
cookie,
no
mama.
the cookie
Mm,
jar. I mean,
mhm,
no, it was not an option. So just reminding people in your space that you were
yeah.
not available, was what I did. This person you were at work to this person. I mean, they went above and beyond. But no, my no was my no, and for me, it was a bird in hand. When you already have somebody with you, that's good, right? They may not be physically there, is better than 10 in the bush. I am not
Mm-hmm.
gonna ruin what it's taking us so much time to build, and that is good for
Yeah.
me
Mhm.
because of a temporary, somebody just showed up and you want to get a quick fix. So how I handled, again, just putting my foot down and creating that environment where the men around me who, were thinking she could be a potential partner were aware that I was not available to be a partner. That was one way that I dealt with it. And on my husband's side too, it's amazing because as our communication group, we actually talk about these things and we laugh about them. And then he'll call me up and say a potential banya dia, and we'll talk about it and laugh about it. I'm like, oh really? So we talk to each other
That's
about it.
good.
Yeah, we talk to
Yes.
each other about it. This is somebody who is a shark in the water and they think they're a potential, but they're not. You still my person.
Mm-hmm.
And then apart from that, also, I was intentional about creating my own little village that I knew was a good support system for me while I didn't have my
Right.
spouse. Because believe it or not, ladies, it's challenging. It's challenging. You go to parties and other events, you go to the mall during Christmas, you see people with their men, with their families, and it hits you every now and then, right? But I was intentional about creating my own little village. I lived with my siblings at the time. So we were intentional about, okay, I don't have my spouse here to do a date night with him. It could have been a bowling night with my little sister and my little brother. It could have been, let's drive to San Antonio and do something fun on the weekend with, my little clique that I had at the time. And
Yeah.
those were some ways that I distracted myself so that I would not, let that loneliness make me, or let
Yeah.
the wrong people crawl in because of the loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those were some things. Just again, making everybody in my environment aware I'm not available to be a
Mm-hmm.
partner intimately, and number two,
Mm-hmm.
creating that little village, that safe space where when I was frustrated, I could talk
Yeah.
to them, and we could do things together, so I didn't feel left out because I didn't have my partner to do
Your
stuff with
partner.
him. Yeah.
Right.
Great.
Wow.
Right.
Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. I think Miss Olivia has some comments from, I don't know,
Okay.
viewers.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Ruth. I think we have one more viewer, Miss Mizzy Carrie, all the way from Yaoundé. Thank you, Miss Carrie, for always watching. Miss Ruth, you said a lot of stuff. I wanted to ask the next question, but I know you already answered that. You
Answer.
vehemently
Right.
said
Mm-hmm.
no. You said I wanted to ask you, will you do it again, like being a long distance relationship, and you already answered that one, like,
The man
you are
came
not
and
going
we are
to.
keeping the man with us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You are not doing that again. But I think the last question from me, and which is I think it covers it all, and I think it's very important. It's like what challenges, like what was so difficult during this 10 years? What could you bear? Like this is a lot. Were there times that you had like breaking
Right.
points,
Yeah.
like I can't do this anymore, or I'm so frustrated? What were the challenges that you faced?
Wow, Miss Olivia, yes. Yes, it was. Sometimes I felt like more challenging than it was rewarding. But when you have something good, it's
Mm,
said that nothing good comes easy,
comes
right?
easy.
True.
When
Mm-hmm.
you have
That's
something
true.
good, you fight for it. I think I
Amen.
can compare our long distance years to motherhood. Motherhood
Right.
is not an easy train, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you have those babies the first year and they ain't sleeping through the night, and sometimes they crying, and you're like, whew, I cannot right now. But you keep fighting because that's your
Oh,
baby, right?
yes.
You keep making it
Mm-hmm.
work. So it was very frustrating. The first thing that made it really frustrating, of course, obviously, was the distance. You always want to be physically with the person that you love, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we could not go to sleep in the same bed, wake up in the morning in the same bed, cook in the same kitchen,
Okay.
talk to each other and laugh in each other's face was frustrating. How did I overcome that? Again, I created a village that I know supported us, even though we were distant from each other, right? I know I already talked about my sister in law, who at the time was very intentional about, I'm moving in, so some other sisters don't move in. Because he was
Shout
young,
out, shout
handsome.
out to your sister-in-law.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes, shout out to my sister-in-law, Auntie
Mm-hmm.
Aya. And I don't know if she could make it today, but I love her from the bottom of my heart because she
That's
was
good.
part of our village, right? I know my husband's a big part of his family, his aunties, his mom, they supported us. during the times when, and I know Miss Olivia asked, was there a time when you guys wanted to call it quits? Yes. There was a time where I got to that point. There was a time where he got to that point, but
Mhm.
we reminded each other. Like in my time where I felt like, man, I don't think this can work. He reminded me we're in it for the long haul. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, girl, but we are going to travel this path together because, again, he was born and raised in a home where divorce was not really an option for
An
him,
option.
Yeah.
right? And I'm not here to preach and say do not divorce. Please, there are red flags that if you see, if your
You
life is
run.
already, if you please exit and go out, you know,
Mhm.
don't let somebody beat you to death and bring flowers to your grave. Don't do it.
Oh,
Mhm.
But I'm talking about good, healthy relationships, right? If it's worth fighting for, fight for it. And that's something, honestly, that I learned from my man. Because before getting married, I was the person who, if you piss me off hard enough, I would walk.
oh,
Like, I'm done. But my husband and my very, very, very close best friend, sister, everything in between, Abina, two of the lessons I've learned with them in life is you don't quit because it's hard. You work
yeah.
through it because it's hard, you
Right.
know? So those were some of the things when I was ready to quit and he was like, I'm not quitting. And he showed me, right? It's not just saying it, is what actions can he do to show you
Show me. Yeah.
I'm here and I want to keep fighting for us.
Actions.
And
Actions.
Right.
actions. And the biggest thing was my husband moving to the States because that was not easy. He was already an established lawyer back home.
Mhm.
He already had life going for him. Imagine taking yourself out of that and coming to a brand new environment where you know nothing, where you have to start from scratch. But that he did that to say, hey, we are family and we are not gonna quit, you know?
Mhm.
And on my end too, you know, when it was like I'm done, I am done, our village reminded me. And there were times when maybe we were both done with each other. I'm mad, you mad, but our village stepped in. So it's important for you to identify who are the people that
Yes.
when we're not able to look in each other's face and talk to each other, they
Yes.
can step in because they always want to work for our best interest together. Because remember, you're a team, right?
Right.
Once you get married. So those are some things that we did to help, you know, the frustration of the distance. And then family, friends, loved ones, Congo Suffer Road, whispers
Ooh.
in the
Mhm.
wall,
Mhm.
call it whatever you want to call it. Those were,
Yes. That's good.
Yep.
Oh my God, I was getting into it, Ruth.
Oh, she'll be back. She'll be
I
back.
She'll be
I
know.
back.
saw that came in.
I was
Yeah, I felt
fighting.
what she said when she talked about moving, like
Uh,
starting all afresh. I went through that, leaving everything I had to finally come and meet my husband and job, everything. And you are leaving because you know what you're going to get. You know that that relationship means everything to you. You want to make it work. You put away your ego, you put away your pride. You're not like, oh, I'm gonna stay here. He's going to
Mhm.
he's going to come over here. I left everything. I'm like, okay, hey, I'm coming. That period
Mhm.
was it all triumphs? No, it was hard. There were times I could sit on the phone and tell him, okay, you're going to take a bath. I'm going to sit here and watch, just
Mhm.
to bring my sexy on, as they'll say. I wanted to be there all the time, but it was hard. And then I discovered I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Hey, I'm packing my bags, I'm leaving. Even though I had, everything I had in Cameroon, but I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'd rather go there and start afresh. Just like Ruth is saying, her husband was well established, but he had to drop all that and bridge the gap between him and his wife. I always tell anybody, if there's a way, understand that there's a lot of problems, there's a lot of reasons that you can be together. But if you can, I mean, Papa, beg, bridge that gap. It's not
Mhm.
healthy, like like Ruth
Yeah.
was. But
Yeah.
Ruth, you were saying something before you started.
yes. Guys, I was talking about the doubt that is going to creep in from maybe family and loved ones and the whispers in the wall, Congo, Safo, Kwata, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You know there are people that will whisper in your ear and says he's 10 years. Chai. And
Hmm.
the guy, he's young and he's handsome.
He has a
Yes,
job,
yeah,
stuff
He
like
yes,
that.
has
I
a
did see that
job.
again.
Yeah.
I did see
Yeah.
that now. You know, so it's like this is somebody that every young woman is looking for. You think they're just gonna
Wait.
let him sit around for 10 years? And at the same time, people too whispering in his ear, okay, hey, yeah, young fine why they that's why man they did you feel said Olivia, you know? And it's like, you know, sometimes that will bring the doubt into you. Because
That's
365 days a year, if you can only see them for a month or 2 months, you're like, what's happening in with the other 10 months, you know? But again, just reassuring each other, I'm here for you, you're here for me. And we told ourselves, if it ever comes to the point where we know it's not working, let's be honest with
Mm-hmm.
each other. Hey,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I moved on. Let's be honest with each other. So that was another thing that brought in the doubt. That was another challenge we had, was when people would say things and when people would try and bring that doubt inside of you. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, remember, it is something between you two first. So work within
Right.
yourselves. Another thing that I want to say, and shout out to all of my best friends. There are 4 or 5 best friends that worked with me through these 10 years. And I can tell you, I confided in them during the difficult times. And I know, till this day, those are the friends where even if crap hit the fan, I would never hear that business on the streets. So I want to say that if you are that support system for someone in a long relationship, or if you are in a long distance relationship and you have that type of support, lean on it and take
keep
advantage of
it,
it.
keep it,
Right?
keep it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it, lean on it and keep advantage of it. Because during the difficult times, those are some of the relationships that you can lean on their shoulder, because you may not always have your spouse to lean on your shoulder, because
Mhm.
sometimes I'm mad at you, I don't want to talk to you. And you're mad at
Right.
me, you don't want to talk to me. Who else can I talk to that I
Yeah.
know still
Um,
works together for the best interest of the both of us as a team? Is who I was able to lean on in those difficult moments, and who was able to just work for us. They were able to maybe
Mm-hmm.
talk to me, or create a medium where we could talk reasonably
yeah,
without like screaming or yelling at each other. Because those times when you can't just look in that person's face, but you
Right.
have that other person that's creating that medium where, okay, now we can be reasonable and talk to each other. So these are some of the challenges we face. These are some of the ways we made it work, and I hope that that was able to inspire someone.
Wow. Wow. That's
thank
great.
you. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Getting in. Thank you, Ms. Ruth, for that. I'm so happy that my co-host, they just shared their long distance relationship and looking into it. Everybody's long distance relationship had to do something with abroad. But I tell you,
Mm-hmm.
girl, relationships sometimes, even if you're in the same country, the thing is distant.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
if
You
you're in a
can be
different
in
Yeah.
the
town, you're in
same
a different.
place, but it's still distant.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
that's my own experience. I had that same experience with my husband. I was teaching back in Cameroon. That's where we're from, and Douala. He was in Bamenda. Is how many hours? 5 hours. But for me, it was a distance relationship.
Of
Mm-hmm.
course.
People look at it like, really, it was.
It
I realize
was.
sometimes you really want him because you do the sex thing, but you really want him, and you're like, you just like 5 hours away from me, and you can't make it. So
Nope.
I had to move. I had to look for his transfer. I had to sign. I had to go to Yaoundé and tell them, you know what? I told my principal, I'm moving. I'm going to Bamenda. He's like, people are like, oh, Douala is good. It's a good
You
place. All of us
you
know.
run, you
Yes.
run, move.
You go to
Mm.
Limbe, Douala, you enjoy your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Douala is life. But you're going to Bamenda, that bush place. I'm
Yes.
like,
Mm.
You know
yeah,
what you
there's
are
a
going
bush.
to look for
It's
now.
There's a
nowadays go die.
lion in that bush. So I'm going to that bush.
Take me to the bush with you, okay?
Yes, no
So
problem.
I
We'll
Mm-hmm.
had
enter
to
bush.
move. I had to move to keep it going. I had to move to keep it going till now, about 14 years. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody, all of you ladies. I don't know how you
Mm-hmm.
guys did it. I swear when I try,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
I tell you, it
So,
wasn't
but
easy.
but to me, my question for you guys right now is, our my relationship was different. My husband has the opportunity to visit me. Ruth's relationship was different. Yours was different. Olivia's was different. Okay,
Mhm.
what if somebody in a situation, we all know that we have a lot of people using the Mexico road and coming here to seek for asylum.
Yes.
That kind of distance relationship, it's so vague. You don't
Yeah.
even know what's going to happen
Yeah.
5 years, 10 years from today. So my question for all of us here at the Molly Show, what would you advise somebody in that kind of a relationship? You leave your girl there or your boy there, and you came here, you came through Mexico, through in illegal way, whatever situation you got here.
Yeah.
Getting those papers, girl, it could take 5 years, it could take 10 years, it could take 15 years.
Yep.
And you cannot go visit her and she cannot come visit you.
Cannot come.
How do you handle a situation like that?
The what I'll say is That's obvious, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Any lady, because it's not always the men that come. A woman can come and trying to take
Yes,
uh,
yes.
any of the partners that are in Cameroon or in the other parts of Africa or in other parts of the world. The first thing you have to make them understand is that you are not intentionally not bringing them over, because that's what usually happens. Oh, and bring me. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they go see white man and stuff like that. That this poor person over here, be the man or the woman, is trying. The first thing you have to make them understand. I don't know, go and read, go to Google, send her documents, send him papers to understand that there is no way I can come and visit. There's no way you can come.
Mm-hmm.
If I do anything, we risk losing it all. That's for me,
Mm-hmm.
that's the very first thing. Any normal person will understand and say, this is my man or this is my woman, they try. There's no
Yeah.
way I can go. Number two, is this a person? Do you want to wait for this person for 15 years? Is it worth it? What kind of relationship did you have? Is this person just your boyfriend? Is this somebody that you just started dating before he or she traveled? Can I wait for 15 years for someone that maybe at the end of the day, when he gets his papers, he's not going to come back to me? What am I doing? That depends now on the relationship both of you had before this
Mm-hmm.
partner traveled. Number three, for me, that's the last one. Is this is your partner that okay, maybe I'll quote myself, my high school sweetheart that we started like from five. I know we're going to the right direction. I'll wait. But now,
Yeah.
waiting, how do we do it? Papa, your phone, only a camera get for being like that's how big I want it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big
Because
I
I go
want that
send you
camera.
my, I go say,
That is
Papa,
how
see.
that is how big I want that camera. If you are going to the bathroom, take that camera with you. If you are
Jesus.
take it, I want to see that we have to bring it on
Yeah.
any time that we can. We have to
Mm-hmm.
make it work. You have to please send me a message 10 times a day. I don't care. Call
Mm-hmm.
me, send me love notes, do anything. Let's keep this sexually on, maybe through this distance. Like I said, I did that, but there was no WhatsApp at that point. I thought I just go back to Cameroon and there was like WhatsApp. You have to pay 250 francs or so for 5 minutes. We had to struggle to get that call on,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will cut, and then he has to buy a calling card to call me. But you do it though, because I need to see you. I need to
Yes.
feel. I had a
Amen.
baby. Papa, go to sleep. It was difficult. I was staying in a family house. You had to, but trust me, if it's somebody that I want, I will do everything to make us work till
Mm-hmm.
it's time for you
And
to say, okay, Olivia, come, come rest. Yeah. So for me, first thing, the person has to understand why. Two, is it worth it? And then if you are staying, do everything you can to keep it on.
yes.
Yep.
Wow. I
That's it.
agree with
Mm-hmm.
completely agree, ladies. For me, the question would be, is this relationship worth waiting for and fighting for?
Yep.
I
Mm-hmm.
know that there are unknowns and there are uncertainties. And I know that the world now is not the world when we were young ladies, right?
Right.
It's gone crazier and weirder over the years. But I agree with Olivia. If we have that foundation that is strong, and I know that we've been through some things. Again, you really don't know a human being to
Mm-mm.
like man talk about
It
pigeon.
changed.
You
It
nothing know
changed.
all man all right.
Nope.
Eh-eh.
But
Mm-hmm. No, no fit.
there's a certain percentage for that person where going to don't be through some things.
Hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
say, I ride or die, honey. It could be
Yep.
20
Mm-hmm.
years and we still, I would do it. But in that kind of relationship where you really don't know, then no, move on with your life. So
Mm-hmm.
that's an individual decision for everyone to make based on where you feel you are with that
Mm-hmm.
person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Henrietta, what
Wow.
are your
I know. Thank you so much, Miss Molly, for that question. It is so tricky. Like you said, everybody came the way they came in. I didn't come through that road, and I applaud to all those who came through that road. I will
Yeah.
not lie, you seeing on TV people die and all that. I give them kudo. And you
Mm-hmm.
staying back and knowing what your man or woman went through so better your life. What are you thinking? Why do you even have to bring negative thoughts in it? Why do you want to think that the person might stay and don't come back to you or don't get you there? If they have to sacrifice for you, because they did it for you, I will tell you, most people come here for greener pastures, either their wife or their kids. I came here for my kids. I was better back home, but I'm like, they'll be better here. So I came.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Miss Olivia said and Miss Ruth, you have to know your intention. And please, I'm sorry, I'm a woman, but I want to tell the men, tell the ladies your intention.
Yep.
thank
Tell them
you?
what you up to. Tell them
Yep.
that wait for
The
me.
truth.
Be honest
Truth.
with them. Be
Yeah. Yeah.
truthful
Be
to them.
honest
Yeah.
and keep it.
I am
And
begging
keep
you.
it.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mhm.
ladies, when we love, we love. We show it. We don't talk.
Mhm.
We don't do the talk. We do the work. We make you see it. So
Mhm.
please, men, tell them, I'm going for us. Stay.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be there for you. And when you come here, you have the gossip. I love Miss Ruth. But I tell you something, gossips are good. Gossips make you step up from where you were because they'll be like, that man is not even having a job. It will make you go get a job. They'll be like,
That's
Yeah.
right.
this man the prostitute.
Ah,
It's gonna make you stop prostituting. So those
People,
gossip are healthy. Get the healthy part and move on. So please, those that are coming, I know you guys are doing a great job, but think about those you left by. Think about a broken heart. You never hear that thing say, do to where you want to do for person where you want me to do for you.
they do for you.
Mhm.
Yes,
It is
twist
a
the story
funny
around.
way. I
Mhm.
yes, and the person does the same thing you're doing to them. How you gonna feel? Do you really think about that? Please, I think our conscience is the biggest of all. So
Yes.
when you come here, look back, things will happen. But look back at where you came from. Look the lady or the man you kept back. So I am so happy they came over to get the green light battery because I tell you it is green over here, girl.
You
Mhm.
see,
So I'm so happy they came.
green
hello.
like
It's great
Miss
now. It's
Berry
great.
stop. It's green like Miss Fruit stop right
I
now.
know it is so green over here. I know. Thank you, Miss Molly, for that because girl, you just poured that thing out
Yeah.
there. I was thinking like, what am I gonna say?
Yeah,
You
and,
know?
and again, maybe you are sending this message to someone watching us out there. If your
Yes.
partner, be it your husband or your wife, is over here and struggling for those papers, give it a chance. Give it a
Yeah.
chance.
Yes.
It's
Very
not
true.
like they don't want to. I always say awareness is always important. Let it be aware of
Mhm.
what they
Yeah.
can and what they cannot do. If he gives up everything now and say, okay, I'm coming to Cameroon to see you, and then he can never come back here. So what did we gain? Nothing.
Oh. Now
You
the
get
girl go first caution, no. The girl go caution. Come on, America empty hand.
all the days in the jungle wasted, all that road trip and stuff like that, everything wasted.
Yeah.
I'm having some laugh from the comment section here, say chai oli and stuff like that. I'm just saying what is true. That's what I would do if I was
Mhm.
in that
Mhm.
situation. All right.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
shout out to all our viewers today. Thank you
Yeah.
also for always joining us. We really, really appreciate it. Please go ahead and drop your likes and your comments. We'll always, even after the live show, we'll go ahead and read them.
Wow.
Yep.
So I know we're almost there, but I don't know if
Yeah.
Miss Wood has something to give a nail to the coffin,
Yeah,
an
advice
advice
or
or
something.
anything out there, please.
Let me put a nail on this one, okay? Guys, one of my big pet peeves is when I hear people say long distance relationship, did they ever work? Let me tell you, I am the biggest advocate, okay? If you have something that you know is good, fight for it.
Fight for it.
Right. Right.
Fight for it. Do not let the internet, the 21st century, and the craziness fool you. Fight for it. Give it a fighting chance. If you have someone that's giving it a fighting chance, right? Like we're
Mhm.
all saying. And if you've done the best that you could, right? I tell everyone, not every relationship is meant to last forever. I said that too.
Right. Mhm.
You know you have done the best that you humanly could, and it's not working for you. Please walk away and find happiness for yourself.
Happiness. I
Amen.
beg, Miss Ruth, can you say that again? That
Amen.
that that was deep. That was deep.
Amen.
Mhm.
Yes, yes,
That was
yes.
deep.
Yes. So if you have, when you know it, you know it. I know us ladies, when you know it in your heart, you know it, right?
You know
Yeah,
it.
When you
Yes.
you do.
when
Yes.
you when you're shopping for whatever, you shopping for a
Yeah.
house, you shopping for a car, you shopping for a man.
Mhm.
When you find the
Mhm.
one you want, you know it in your heart, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you know that they're good, don't let anything destroy that. The
Mm.
distance, the internet, the conversation, the whispers in the wall, fight for it. Give it a fighting chance. But when you know that you have done the best you humanly could and it's not working, please walk away and find happiness for your own self.
Yep.
Yes, that's
Yes.
Yep.
what I want to end with
Wow.
today.
Happiness. As I have a comment for that, Miss Dande Benedict says, "I deal with you, Ruth." Like just what you were saying. Like if it's not working, go and look for happiness. Don't. Social media will be social media. Trust me.
Yes.
Don't think
Mhm.
because you are going to come and tell people online like, "Oh, we are fine" and stuff like that. I go back to your bed and cry. My dear brother, my dear sister, it's not worth it. It's
Mm.
not what if it's not working, just as Miss Ruth is saying, happiness. But the age is going very fast. How old are we now? Think about 10 years ago while you were still going about your distant
Oh
relationship.
Lord. Oh Lord.
Imagine,
When I was still a
yeah,
girl. Oh Lord.
imagine it
Oh
was
Lord.
something. Yeah, 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 that one. Imagine, imagine it was something that you were working for that is not worth it. You have wasted 10 full years of your life, and right now maybe you could have just been there, like, oh, maybe because it's my husband that did this because I was waiting for it. You knew deep down inside you that this is not going to work, but you decided to put it out there. I think our viewers are showing up at the end of this episode. I have Miss Doris Rich Girl, one of our very favorite followers. She says this is very, very interesting. And Miss Delphine Ediang, thank you for watching. She said, true, if you have something you think is not working, fight for it. Just perfectly correct. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that comment. So
And real quick, Miss Olivia, please, can I just had a
Oh
quick
yes.
thought, right?
So
Go
go
ahead.
for it.
And another thing that I would like to encourage the spouses that are coming to America in our case, or coming to the Western world, whether it's Europe, Canada, whatever the case
Yeah.
may be,
Mhm.
please, when you come here, you are not in Cameroon. Do not stress yourself. Adapt to your new world is what I'm trying to say, because I know Miss Olivia just said something right now that, to the effect of when you come over, as I don't even know exactly how to put it, but this is my point. When you come here, please adapt to the society here.
mhm,
I know that there are things we come with from back home. They're good. We want to keep the good. But there's also the bad. Put that away. Adapt to the situation here. Whether you brought your wife to America, right? Don't
mhm,
make your wife a slave in America, please.
because you brought
You
her.
we have some African men. You bring your wife here, she's not
Ah,
allowed to she's not allowed to interact with the outside world. And this woman feels like she owes you the rest of her life, but she's not able to live her dream in a dream country, right? And vice versa, us women. Don't bring your man here and
my
walk all over
sister.
his face and step all over him, and he cannot, be free and be a man and live a good life. Like, let them adapt to the society. And if you're the person coming here, adapt to this world. Did you ever talk to when you go to Rome, do what the Romans do,
The
right?
one
Mm-hmm.
And, and if you are the person that's here, give that other person some space, please, to kind of adapt, right? It's a big change for them. It's a big change for you. Work together to ensure that the new person that's coming in, that both of you can find best balance for your family. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, ladies.
yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Miss
for
Ruth.
coming.
Yeah, that's really going to be a topic for another day because that topic is broad and
It
deep.
is. It
Mm.
is.
Yes,
We plan
it's
on
going to be
having
a
a part
topic for
two,
another
ladies.
day.
What do
Yeah,
we think? Ladies, we need
yeah.
a part two for this.
Yeah.
I know we really need a part two for
We
this.
need
So
a part
thank
two
you,
for
Miss
this
Ruth, for
topic.
that closing remark. And thank you, ladies. Thank you, Miss Olivia, for always giving us feedbacks from all those ladies. And thank you, Miss Molly, for always shouting hello, hello to everyone. I know, like we said, this is a part one, and I pray that the part two comes over with a man. But one thing I want to
Yeah.
thank the viewers is this question and this topic came from a viewer. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
we're still pleading with viewers. If you have anything you want us to talk about, you want anything you want to share, you want to bring to the table, put it down. You
One
can
in
send us a message. You can tell us you want this topic, you want this. And I tell you, we're here for you guys. We're here for you. So never
Mm-hmm.
you forget that because we are not here except you guys are out there because we'll not
Right.
be here without you all. So we'll thank you for that. We applaud, we appreciate it. So I want to thank Miss Olivia and Miss Rude, Miss Rude, Miss Rude, Miss Rude. Girl, this girl has so many names, but I tell you guys gonna know the names in August.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
We're gonna
Oh
tell
yeah.
you
That's
guys
for
all about
sure.
her name and her man's name. And
Yeah.
she is a proud mom. She didn't mention the babies, but I want to tell you she is a good mom. And we
Thank you.
thank you for being with us in San Antonio. You're part of the ladies club, which is Savet Club Ladies. And I
Whoop,
thank
whoop.
you for the input. We thank you for everything you bring to the community. We thank you for your husband, which is the president of the community of San Antonio.
The largest,
Owners
the
in San
The
biggest,
Antonio,
biggest.
the
which is
biggest.
The
Dakota.
biggest.
So this is our first lady. We thank you for coming to the show. And please, all viewers, don't forget, her sister was the lady that won the fourth place, the beautiful
Our very
lady
first
that was the
life.
first African, the fourth place in African pageant. She was our first guest. So this is
Yeah.
the sister right here. We thank you. We thank you for your family. We thank you for everything. Viewers, we want to thank you all.
It was
I'm so
privileged.
privileged to like close this up today. So you know what to do, viewers. Give a thumbs up. Send your comments. We on where? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We on where? 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 Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We on
Mm-hmm.
Are we on TikTok? Who go see
Right.
Miss Rue? Go see Miss Olivia when she puts her finger. She does something. Go over there. See Miss Molly when she tells you.
Yep.
You'll be amazed. So we're on TikTok, Facebook. We are on
YouTube.
YouTube,
YouTube.
Instagram.
We're on Instagram. So please
Mm-hmm.
go in, send your comments, your like. We love you all. And keep watching.
The
The
morning
Morning
show.
Thank you
Show.
all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.